Hi guys, welcome back. This is 2000 Gaming again. Bring another Girls Frontline 2 content. In this video, I'm just gonna be talking about, I'm gonna be yapping a little bit on why is Springfield a very, very important team as a free-to-play. Okay, as a free-to-play, she's very important. We've been talking about this since I've started making content for Girls Frontline 2. So, mostly in general, you cannot denied the fact that everybody's saying she's a must pull. Okay, even in CN, even in other tier list, she's considered tier 0 together with Vector and like the things that like they can do. Like for example, Vector is the one supporting QJ. Again, QJ and Tololo are the free to play teams that you can go around with your Hydro and Fire team. Okay, you can get them in the standard banner. Technically, I have a V3 QJ because like you can summon them on a standard banner, and Tololo I have her on V2, which is very, very perfect for those kinds of support team that you can go on a V1 Vector, which I did already. I've been clearing up quite a lot of areas in Girls Frontline 2 with that fire team together with again QJ, Vector, Shakri, Kisenya or Cheetah. On the side, Tololo is still lackluster on my part, but she's still doing quite a lot of damage. She's on V2 right now. With Springfield, that would help her quite a lot, okay? I was hopeful that Springfield will come later, maybe 2-3 patches in. That's why I summoned Klukai. So I got Klukai in V3. Don't get me wrong, that's really good. That's where I'm like at right now because like at least Klukai, when she does her ult, even without her killing an enemy, she can still do her ult as long as she hits two units or two opponents or a boss. Okay? So she can cycle through her super. But right now, Tololo will become OP because of Springfield. And also Springfield, you can put her on an off team if you don't want to put her on your Hydro. But like most likely, if you have a Tololo, you need to put her on a Hydro team. With Sabrina, to be exact. Sabrina is a free character as well that you can get while clearing content. So it's really cool. You already have a Hydro team, you already have a Fire team. And then you can go ham on what you need to do moving forward. If you want to make an electric, you want to make a physical, it's all up to you. But like right now, Springfield completes your Hydro team, and then there's gonna be one more Hydro character coming up in the future. But like that's in the CN, we're not gonna be talking about that one. So whole sentiments of everybody else in the space. So we'll be talking about again. Reddit is not really a good basis, but again, sometimes people do put up a very good Reddit content that you can see, and you can like again it's not 100% sure, but like you can make your own opinion by sifting through lots of things, and you can research upon yourself if this one leans towards to the totality that like major like everybody in general says that like yeah, Springfield is a must pull. Preferably they're telling a V6, but like for free to play it's a V2. Okay? So we'll see what this lovely gentleman has said. See, it's written here, a free to play efficient guide making the most out of your future characters. Shoutouts to the fluffy burrito. It's been 6 months, okay? This is 6 months in. I've done my research, and I feel like again the research that done in the past, because you can look at it in the internet as well. Like you can easily look at this one. It's a public reference that you can look, research, and then form your own opinion, leaning towards to are they right, are they wrong. So what is, and then what is and what not. Okay, so Springfield 1, we want to have a Springfield V1 just to maximize her ability. So, expected teammates Tololo, because Tololo can cycle her ult at V2 every other turn if she has multiple buffs on her. Okay? So, Springfield is a support healer and is a sort of similar to Vector, except Vector doesn't heal. Okay, that's a big difference in the way that she heavily boosts a standard SSR, which is Vector boosts QJ, while Springfield boosts hydro damage in the form of Tololo. In the case of Tololo, but the boost here is more significant. Yes, at the first anniversary unit, Springfield is appropriately broken. Springfield buffs turbid damage immensely through overflowing care, a buff she places on all allies with her ultimate and targeted ally through her skill. Overheals allies with her buff, hydro damage is increased. Springfield's ultimate also summons, you know, the Hawk. I can't pronounce his name. We'll talk about that one later. That debuffs enemies, and she counters them with the Hawk while the Hawk is on the field. She has counter attack, which is really cool. And she can also have extra turn in certain circumstances. Springfield V1 upgrade doubles the buff of the heal. 70% increased damage to versus 35%. That's quite a lot. That's why we want a Springfield at V1 as well as the healing she does. Okay? So they're telling that her healing is much stronger than Suomi's. Okay? Because like sometimes if I put Suomi, I don't have a Suomi V1. I usually pair Suomi on top of Cheetah because Cheetah heals every other instance whenever she supports the team, which I do really like from Cheetah. So I made a video gushing over Cheetah, and I'm still using her to this day as a healer in support of assisting my fire team. So looking at, I'm gonna be posting a link. Usually these are the like where the content creators are looking for guides usually. So this is fairly proven, and this shoutouts to the people who made this. So we're gonna go who let's gonna go to the how do you go to the main page on this? So not quite sure how do you get to the main page. Like I don't know how to get to the main page. Facts. Let's no. Let's go to the home. Shoutouts to um Armored Neko for helping with the reviews maintained by Wee Chu. Shoutouts to everybody who did quite good. The community is really nice with regards to Girls Frontline 2. They're very nice enough to like give us tips and whatnot. Especially CN is already ahead of us, just like in Reverse 1999. So they're like giving her their due diligence to help us out in the global side of things and compare and whatnot. So this is still, you can choose Springfield here at the bottom, and then you can practically see. So there's gonna be again, so class attributes, skill attributes, weakness. So she's weak on electric, and she's because she's hydro. Okay, so she's also a sniper, a support, a heavy ammo, false intelligence. This talks about all of the things that you can see on Tololo moving forward. So false intelligence, like increased stability damage you see by 2 points, hydro damage you see by 10%. So again, like the abilities of Springfield is leaning towards to attack percent, and like me, like on at the end of the day, if she's like at V6 leaning towards to the HP, I think I'm right with that. So attack first, then HP. But like for me, I'll just go with attack. Like nothing goes wrong with if you put attack on your character, okay? So these are the things that like she can cleanse, taunt, and fear, which is really cool. Extra action can be taken. These are the gist of what we're gonna be talking about here. So her general approach, their basic attack, selects an enemy target in 9 tile radius and physical damage. That's it. So intelligence tactics. So this is her skill. Selects an enemy target with 9 tile, false intelligence to the target for 2 turns, and dump on the target for 1 turn. Deals hydro damage equivalent to 130% of attack. So it leans towards to your attack. Okay? To it. Increases confectant index by 1. So again, if you have full confectants index, you have an extra turn. We will talk about that one later. So vertebrae, if you are like awaken 4, we're not gonna be talking about V4. So celestial aid. So this would be your active healing buff. Selects an ally with 9 tile radius, restore their HP equivalent to 100% of attack, and 33% stability, and applies overflowing care for 2 rounds. So the duration decreases at the end of the current round, increases confectance index by 1 point for self. Okay, so this is gonna be the V1. Her V1 increases HP restore to 130% of attack from previous 100%, and enhances the effect of overflowing care, increases HP restored to 15% of the caster's attack, and increases the upper limit of hydro damage to 70%. Okay? So that's a big difference. Apply 6 stacks of shared telepathy to the ally, and then, ultimate AoE. So she's gonna be summoning the Hawks. It's called Tariz. Selects an enemy target within 9 tile radius, summons Tariz that follows a target for 2 rounds. It's not the same as Papasha's Guardian, wherein it's count as an extra character on the field. This is just an accessory. It's like floating around. They can't really shoot this one, okay? It just follows, and like it's a very nosy hawk, okay? So turns and deals AoE hydro damage equivalent to 80% of attack. So again, leaning towards the attack. Applies buried bonds and overflowing care for all allies. So this is again the healing part of your ult. So she heals just like Suomi, but this one is like much stronger in a way. It's kind of crazy. Plus, debuffs and cleanses taunt and fear. So when the target that Taris is following dies, it goes and follows another unit with the highest HP. So it doesn't die, it just stays there. And then confectant index by 2 points per self. So again, this is gonna be the buff, 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 and then you get the fixed key path of protection when skill is used, pulls a target towards the center by 3 tiles. This is a good combination. So if you like, she's gonna be your healer, right? You can put Klukai on the side, okay? Because it's written here on the side. Look at this. Look at this written here. The fixed key, if you apply that on your fixed key on her, group enemies together for Klukai to kill with the ultimate. Because again, the fixed key, when this skill is used, pulls all targets towards the center by 3 tiles. They will pull it together, and then Klukai can KO them on the second attack on her ult, which is really cool. Okay, so lots of things to think. The passive buff counter as well. So if the confectance index is at maximum after attacking, decreases confectance index to 0 points and gives instance on extra action. She will have another extra action, and she also counters attack. That's crazy. So she's practically somewhat broken right now in global if she's dropping, and still at to this day in CN she's still tier 0. Okay, as per what are like what I've researched and what I've seen in the tier list of people's like Pridewin, lots of people who are like putting up content, whatnot. Like I can see and compare, and with these skills that I have mentioned to you with this Google sheet, I'll be linking to you guys as well so that you can form your own opinion. But like you need a Springfield V1. I know that there's gonna be a weapon, but like again, at the end of the day, a character is much more important than the weapon. And her ability on a V1, I think, much better than a weapon. So again, if you're free to play, beggars can't be choosers. We can't really be doing getting a character to V1 plus the weapon. It all depends on you, or else you're gonna be running out of like gems or collapse pieces. Currently, I have a Klukai V3 and I still have 40,000 collapse pieces. I didn't really summon for her weapon because always know for a fact if you're free to play, it's better to have the character than the weapon. So, what do you think about this? Are you pulling for Springfield? I want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'll be linking this Google Doc to you once I fix the description. So, hopefully you like this video. Like and subscribe again. This is 2300 Gaming, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye.